Hey everyone, I just thought I would bring up a scalping example for new tokens. One of the important things is that with a new token, there quite often is not a lot of price structure. So looking at this World Liberty Finance token, if I look at the weekly, it's really just 3 candles. There's no ranges. If I look at the 3-day, I have an accumulation range, which means I do have a break level to the downside. If this candle closes exactly like you see it here now, then I would also have a hold level to the upside. I don't actually have a downtrend yet, but if it closes exactly like this, then I would have a support trend on the 3-day, which would be across here. It'd also be a range trend based on the structure of the 4 candles. So you could look to take a trade on this if it does close exactly like that. It'd either come down to the break level, then come up to the hold, or it might come down to the range trend and then up to the hold like that. But at this stage, there's just not a lot of information there. So what we are looking for is we're looking for something with more candles. So we'll have a look at the daily. On the daily, we've got an accumulation range, we've got distribution range, we've got another accumulation range, we've got a closed hold level, we've got a violated break level, and we've got another break level that's been hit down here. So this is now starting to get to the point where there's enough data to look at making trades. So you'd need to mark out your various levels. Something like a bounce and retest of the break level would make sense. Also, something like a test of the hold level would make sense. But to do so, we need a trend. And as it stands, if we have a look to see what our current uptrend is, that's our current uptrend. It's not been broken because the corner is on there. So from that, we'd probably need one more day in distribution. We sort of need this day, the current day, to close with a blue candle with a decent enough wick to the downside that it can move the trend. And let's just say that the wick came down and was touching this trend, and then the candle closed exactly as you see it there now. Then we would look at getting a trade from the trend up to the break retest like that, with potential continuation to the hold level. Most of the time, if you bounce a trend, it targets a hold, so it might go up, hit that, have a bit of a rejection, then go up. But so there's a potential trade there, but still there just isn't really enough data at this stage to be taking trades based on the daily. So what we're going to do is we're going to just put those back in because they are still levels. So just going to call this daily break retest because it hasn't had it yet, and we'll call this our daily hold like this. And I've also got this range down here, so this is our daily hold. And what else we got? We got this daily break down here, so daily break. Okay, so we've got a few levels that we can mark out in there. Now let's just see if we can actually find a good trend. Now, because this trend is a range trend, I'm just going to leave it on the chart as it is, and what I'll do is I'll anchor another line in here, which I will just randomly float somewhere. Let's just put it there, and then let's go down and have a look at a 4-hour time frame. So based on the 4-hour time frame, we'll just see where our pivot point is. Our pivot point was up here, and our first candle close is that doji there. Don't like dojis all that much, but we're going to use it. So and it looks like that has created a bounce before. It's supported price moves. Okay, and it's been retested and rejected when it was closed underneath. So that is the trend, or that was the trend, I should say, because this candle hard closed it. So let's just take that and we'll move it to there. Okay, and there it is. It's rejecting us now. So even on this 4-hour time frame, we don't really have another trend. So if we just label that as our 4-hour trend, and let's just go back to the daily again. We'll put another line on there and just float it in the middle of nowhere. So let's go and have a look at our 1-hour. Okay, so once you get to the 1-hour, you've got a lot of structure. And I can already see the 1-hour trade that has played out. But so just as an example, if you'd been watching this and keeping a bit of an eye on it, this candle all the way down here that was really far away from the 4-hour trend, this candle was the one that hard closed and created the 1-hour trend. So that was there, and so that's at 1H. And the next candle tested that trend, but the thing is, after it tested the trend, its first real resistance was going to be to try and target this hold. And we did have this daily hold there, and when it hit it, there was like this little rejection, etc., and then it got above it, and then it sprung up and it hit the hold. So a trade that has played out on this, which could have been caught if we'd been paying a bit of attention to it, was basically the creation of the 1-hour trend, the test of the 1-hour trend, and the test of the hold. So it had every single thing in place to actually make a move. So that would have been, where are we there? Trend was about 2117, and you would have targeted the hold, which also had confluence with the backside of the 4-hour trend at the top there, which was 2484. So that's effectively how you take a token that doesn't have a lot of information, because it hasn't been listed that long, and you find a level where there is sufficient information, which is trends, holds, breaks. You kind of need all of the above. And then when it creates a trend, you long it and you target the hold. So hopefully you get something out of that. And obviously it all works in reverse as well, so you can flip this upside down and do it for shorts. But yeah, keep an eye on this thing for when it creates its daily or 3-day structure, because there could be a good move coming after that. Cheers, bye.